All right, we are live. Welcome to Simnett Nutrition Live. I hope you guys are having a good day out there. Hope everybody is well, wherever you are in the world. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining. I see we already have 100 people, so this is pretty amazing. We're gonna jump right into it. I just like to see where a bunch of you guys are from first before we get into it. And I'm just gonna adjust the camera a little bit here. That's probably good. So I tried to make the setup a little bit more interesting today. We've got some a little mood lighting over there. Put the tree in the background, so it should be all good. So yeah, I saw some people already here from Vancouver Island. What's up? Nanaimo, Finland, Los Angeles. Oh, and from Los Angeles, man, we miss it there. Hope you guys are enjoying the sun because it is raining so hard here today. I don't know if you guys follow my stories, but I went out for a run earlier today and I was just wearing like a regular sweatshirt, no, no waterproofing stuff or anything. And when I was out there, it just started coming down on me. But you know what? It was so worth it. And I did not regret it for 1 second. And I feel amazing now. So there we go. Oh my gosh, Florida, Portland, Germany. Yeah, Portland's awesome. We absolutely loved it there. Nelson, BC, we love it there too. Very cool. So yeah, anyways, welcome to the live. Crystal's going to be with us in a little bit here in a few minutes. She's just doing a few things, getting ready still, and she's actually got a friend's birthday that she's celebrating today, so she's going to have to run out and go and do that and see her. But yeah, so I'd love for some questions to start coming in whenever you guys are ready, but you know, no rush on that. I did get a question actually today in my DMs, and it was, how do I get back into running? It was, obviously when I was out on my run, I saw that, so I wasn't able to answer the DM, but how to get back into running. It's, you just got to do it. There's really no secret, right? Crystal's laughing, but I wish there was, but really you just got to get out there. And like I always say, lacing up the shoes is the absolute hardest part. So, just commit to getting out there. You don't have to have the best, longest run of your life. You don't have to, absolutely kill it for 2 miles or anything. Just like go around the block, just like 10 minutes. Whenever I go out, I usually just have like a loose sort of, idea of the destination where I want to go to. But like, I'm not timing it. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just moving my body, just getting out there, enjoying nature, breathing fresh air. But if you are one of these people that needs to, be motivated, like keep notes and time and everything like that to stay motivated, definitely do that. My dad was one of these people, and he, it's amazing. He kept a journal of every single run that he ever did in his entire life. And it's pretty cool to be able to like go through that stuff. I remember doing that a few years ago. Are you Simnett Nutrition? Are you using some eye enlarging filter? No, I am not. No, but that's awesome. My eyes must look very big today. That would be so cool. But no, we are just using just regular, YouTube streaming platform here. I actually was looking into Streamlabs for this live, but I didn't quite have enough time to like figure it out. And you guys know, cooking and nutrition is kind of my specialty. The technology is like not right specialty. So anyways, just wanted to say what's up. I have some family in the house. My beloved sister is here with the live, probably with her children as well. Nephews who are just so awesome. So yeah, what's up, you guys? So anyways, thank you guys all so much for coming to join. Let's get some questions going here. So yeah, get into running. Just get out there and do it. There's no secret, Put on those shoes and get out there. So yeah, Crystal's here. Hi, Crystal. Hi. You guys know her. She's my girlfriend. Feel like we're a little too mature and been together for a little too long to be calling you my girlfriend, but until I pop that question, that's what she is. So yeah, and we've also got little Ollie here, as you guys know.
She's just being crazy in the background. That's why I keep moving, because she's like attacking that plant, which thankfully that's actually fake. So I don't mind that, but she's gonna.
I love that fake plant. It's from Crystal's mom.
Yeah.
Crystal was like, "No, we don't want any fake plants in the house." And I was like, "No." I was like, "More foliage, the better." Obviously real, I would prefer. But our house has so many dark corners. Actually, only one, right, which is right there. So that's where we have all our plants. So yeah, the cat tree is amazing. Yeah, thank you, Kenna Gray. Really quick, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I won't dwell on it for too long, but I'm pretty proud of this. And Crystal knows I've been putting some time in the last week. Might be one of the reasons why I don't have a video finished for this weekend, but I've got lots on the go and a couple really good ideas and videos that I'm working on right now. So there'll be some good content coming up. But yeah, check out the cat tree that I built. So we've got like a hammock kind of thing on the top. This is like the newest addition here. In the middle there, you can see I built like this little enclosed area with driftwood. And then, yeah, there's just all that going down. I haven't covered the base yet, but it's so cool. It was all with locally sourced driftwood, not like I had a choice. But yeah, I just went to the beaches near us and got some driftwood and had a plan in mind. And I knew the corner that I wanted to fill, and I knew sort of the feng shui that I wanted to, accomplish. I'm using that word right. So anyways, yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining. So let's go. Let's get into some questions. So do you think college is worth it if you can't afford a master's degree? I'm not sure if bachelors are even worth it anymore since places require masters. Yeah, this is tough because I went to school for public relations, and I didn't go through like masters and all that's like, do the education that you can afford if you want to do it. I don't think that you have to. What do you think, Crystal? You just like looked all serious all of a sudden.
Oh, I think it depends on what you want to do.
Well, yeah.
If you want to become a doctor, you're
gonna have to.
You can't just not like go to school and just be like, I'm a doctor. So it really just depends on what you want to do and like your path.
Mm-hmm.
And like, why do you want to do your master's? Is it going to get you the job that you want, or a job that's going to be higher paying? Is it even worth it? Because sometimes it can be so expensive.
Yeah, and the thing that I see so much nowadays is, and what I experienced was that I went to college and I got great education, finished with great grades and all that. But then when I went to apply for jobs, I was still applying for entry-level jobs, and it seemed like I was still applying for work that people who maybe just had some experience or had some connections in the industry, and it was public relations and journalism back then. They were getting the jobs, and so I'm not saying that education doesn't matter. Of course it does, but there's just there's so much more to it. And then I went and ended up changing careers a few times, anyways. So I wish I could tell you better if it was. If you had to.
Asked, do you have nutrition education? So yes, I went to school to become a holistic nutritionist or a certified
nutritional practitioner,
which is the other name for it.
Yeah. So yes, holistic nutrition. Yeah, I did go to school for that, and I think it was well worth it for sure. A lot of the stuff that I've learned has been outside of my schooling, and has been on my own in independent research, and a lot of the stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis and that I apply to my life. But yeah, going to school definitely gave me great foundation, and a lot of people want to see that that paper, so they know that you're accredited and all that. Becky V says, "Hey, I can't chat without paying, so I donated so I could say hi from Ontario."
Thanks, Becky.
That is yeah, I don't know. That's definitely not an option I put on. There's no need to pay to watch this, but or to comment. But thank you so much for that. It's really nice. Yeah, so that does bring up a fact. We do the super chats here. It's never required, but there is an option here where you can make a nomination you want, and then the question will pop up. And obviously, I'm going to give those ones, sort of the first, the first answers. But there's no need to do that if you guys don't want to. I'm not coming on here doing these lives asking for money. You guys do enough for me, helping support me with my channel, purchasing my ebook, getting my clothing, all that sort of stuff. Kyle Bays, I would love to see more about your car. Okay, let's go. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't take much. No, I have a car Instagram, West Coast 350Z. Go check that out. That's where I keep all my car content. But apparently, veganism and car content is not really that easy to mass up together. So I'm keeping those. But yeah, I'm a total car nut, gearhead. I've done all the work on my car myself. Got a little car that I take to the track and stuff. And it's very fun. It's been a passion of mine forever. But, still ride my bike when I can. Gotta be good to the old environment. What else do we have here, Crystal? Any questions you see?
Well, someone said this is kind of a question about the masters. Is you have to have a master's degree to become a dietitian.
That's, is that why they were asking?
I think. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. But she's like, I just don't have that money. Do you think it's realistic to become a nutritionist with a certification or a bachelor's? And I definitely think it is, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, well, there's different sort of what would be the word, legal requirements, depending on where you live. For instance, the certification that I have as a CNP is recognized more internationally than somebody who gets the RHM letters after their name. We get very similar educations, but just because of like the governing body and I don't know what sort of like handshaking and stuff goes on behind the scenes, but that's just how it is, right? So it depends what you want to do, and of course, a lot of people like seeing that I'm a nutritionist on here because they're like, well, this guy must know what he's doing. But it doesn't necessarily mean you need to have an education to know what you're talking about with nutrition, and you don't. I want to be careful with what I say because I don't think everybody should just go out there and start giving nutrition advice, of course. But there's a lot of people out on social media that that have no qualifications that give really bad advice, right? So as long as you're doing better than them, I think it's probably okay.
Or even can give good advice too. Because they can research and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it depends. I think with dietitians, they have more opportunity to work in a hospital setting, maybe more clinical.
Yep.
But even when you went to school, you had options of doing like practicums in like clinical settings that had like holistic nutritionists and stuff there. So it kind of depends on what like avenue I guess you want to go down. But.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love talking about this sort of stuff. If you guys have more questions about like career paths, in Canada, the education system, like all things is different than in the United States.
Yeah.
Like here, there's like college, which is like sometimes like referred to as community college or whatever, and it's not quite as looked on as highly as universities are. And I don't know what the equivalents are in the States or whatever, but like seems like synonymously in the States. So I don't know. I was going with that. Anyways,
Peter has a question. Is it possible to maintain muscle mass and run daily? Because we were talking about this recently,
right? We're talking about this because my buddy Chris Moore in LA, you guys, you might follow him, and he's been running he just did an ultra, and he's a bodybuilder guy, and he's got quite a bit of muscle. Like he's not a heavyweight bodybuilder or anything, but he's a lot bigger than me, and he's a very really strong guy, and he's managed to maintain. So we just have to remember our bodies like to specialize. Like that's just and if you want to be the best at something, you've got to like focus on that one thing, and then but you could also be a jack of all trades, right? I forget the whole saying of that. Jack of all trades, but a master of none is better than a master of none. Isn't that what the full saying is? Anyways, I think that you can do both, definitely. And if you do run, it's going to be a little bit harder to hold on to a lot of muscle mass because our bodies are just like smart, and they're like, hey, I'm going to be doing a lot of endurance stuff. It's going to be a little harder for me to hold on to muscle, but it's totally possible. Which one? I like when you ask the questions, Crystal. It feels like, I don't know. It's cool. Then I don't have to like read.
I think you could you can. Adam says absolutely build muscle.
As
well. You just gotta eat a lot. You gotta be eating, which running and cardio, all that cardio would make you really hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think you're gonna be like IFBB pro, also ultra marathoner.
No,
right? Like I don't think that might not be realistic. But I think for most people, that's not what they're looking at. They're kind of like thinking like, hey, like I have a physique like yours, and I want to run a little bit. Like, why not? Like, Derek does a lot of mountain biking and stuff. I mean, you haven't because of the weather right now, but it used to do that a lot in the summer, and not really a change in your muscle mass.
What are some YouTubers that you guys watch? Oh man, well I definitely like a lot of the more like the classic like vegan channels, like watching Joey Carbstrong, and of course anything like Earthling Ed puts out. Love that stuff. Love keeping up to date with like my friends, Brian Turner and all that. Always like checking those out. But I have to be honest, like because I'm so immersed in the vegan world, and so much of what I post and so many things that I watch are about that. A lot of the time I seek entertainment outside of that world. So I do watch a lot of like different car channels. Like Cletus McFarland is one of my favorite ones. He's a Florida man, but he's got some pretty cool stuff going on there. John Hill, he's a skateboarder that has an amazing YouTube channel, and this guy's work ethic is unbelievable. And he's a plant-based eater himself, at least last time I checked. I'm pretty sure he is. And he's just a really inspiring guy to me. I was lucky enough to meet him when I went to LA and hang out with him for the day, and actually watched him film a vlog. And I was blown away by how easy it was for him to film. But I know he works really hard, and he puts out tons of good content. But it was amazing. Like I almost didn't notice it when he was just like walking around filming, he'd do some stuff, talking, and it was like so effortless for him, where I guess you can tell for me, it might not be that easy.
Carla has a really great question. Derek, is there anything you've changed your mind on in regards to nutrition? I think that's a great question, because I think a lot of us always assume that we have these absolutes, and it's good to have maybe an open mind.
Yeah, it is.
And think of.
So I mean, since when, right? Like if we're talking about since way back, because I remember when I was younger, I had a friend that was just vegetarian, and he did it because I think for the animals. And his brother was like a punk rocker and stuff, so it was kind of like, I think it was a little bit of part of that scene as well. But I always looked at him and I was like, man, that's really commendable that you would sacrifice your health in order for the betterment, or even not even for sure, but possible betterment of the health of all the animals and everything like that. And even though it was such a small impact that he was just eating a couple pieces of steak a day, chicken or whatever, I didn't understand it then, and I didn't know that you could even you could live a healthful life or healthy life and even be healthier on a vegan diet. I didn't know those things then, so that has definitely changed. And once I did open my eyes to that, I saw people that were killing it on a plant, actually not around me, but on the internet here, killing it on the plant-based diet, and just how much energy they had and how vital they were. I was like, yo, I want a piece of that. And like I said, once I learned that you could live this way healthfully and you don't actually need meat, you don't need dairy for calcium, you don't need all these things, for me, it was like, a no-brainer. Had to go that way.
What about in the last, since you started YouTube?
Thanks. That's what I was going to get into. Have I changed my mind? Not a ton. I mean, you guys know how consistent I am. I think definitely I want to say I've come to understand that it's you go through stages in when you become vegan. I find where it's at first you sort of when you're experimenting with, you're just trying to figure it all out, and then once you learn all that, like I mentioned, you get you start wondering why doesn't everybody know this, and why isn't everybody making this leap? If I can understand it, why isn't everybody else? And then you start being like, well, every piece of meat that somebody eats is is bad for them, and they're just doing it I don't know. For me, I just became. I started to realize after I was vegan for a lot longer that not everybody is where I am at this very moment in time, and we have to be really more understanding and gentle a lot of the time with our approach. But I mean, of course, I want everybody to go plant-based in the end, go vegan. That would be amazing. But as far as specific things, I can't really think of any. If any come up though, while we're talking about this, because I'll probably be reminded of some things from other questions, I'll definitely get into it.
I definitely think that.
What about you?
We've been together for so long. I feel like I'm part of some of your journey. I definitely think when we went through a phase of very high carb eating, which you can see in the channel, where Derek was eating smashing 10 bananas in his smoothie. Yep. We were really not eating a lot of fats, and I know for myself, I did go through a period of being nervous, being oh, fat is bad for you and stuff, because I was influenced by other people that might have thought that. And moving forward, I've realized I was for some people it's realistic to be eating higher fat percentages, but I definitely think that I feel a lot better when I include more fats in my diet rather than just eating super high carb and super low fat. Having more of a balance.
Yeah, I mean, by no means are you
balanced
keto,
approach. No, by no means am I just eating
but hey,
that
might
much.
For somebody. I saw a few people mentioning it in the comments there
exactly.
as well.
So finding that balanced approach that works for you. Yeah, we definitely eat more I would say fats now than we did when we first were together. And stuff.
Yeah, but I felt great.
Yeah,
built a ton of muscle when I was eating when I look back at my 4 days of eating, some days I was eating 65 grams of protein, and that's when I gained so muscle, a large part of my muscle. So I don't know, my opinion on that hasn't really changed. My style of eating has, but I still think that you can definitely I still think you can eat that way and be healthful as long as you provide you are getting enough fat. Someone said most critical basic exercises. Pull-ups. Yeah, pull-ups are one. Compound movements, right? Compound movements are when they involve more than one joint moving, which means that they're gonna, they're gonna recruit a lot more muscles, many muscle groups. So the compound movements, pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and then some sort of row where you're pulling like this. I know I mentioned this in almost all the lives, but something I focus on when I'm working out is trying to hit all the different planes of motion. If you think you can push and pull this way, down, forward, up, and everything in between. So I often try to incorporate those different movements into my workouts. and just like making sure that I go through all those. Yeah, definitely. Like, if you can do squats, I think that's really important. I every few months after I start doing squats, I'll kind of injure my back a little bit, and so now I'm not doing as many squats. I'm just kind of doing like the leg press, hack squats, and all that sort of stuff, which has been working out really great for me. It's important to stay injury free. Yeah. What
If you weren't a nutritionist, what would your career be, or like what do you think your career path would be? It's not such a hard question.
Yeah, before I was into health and nutrition, I was trying to get an internship when I was in public relations at a car magazine. So it was a tuner.
It always just goes back to cars.
It was a tuner car magazine. But yeah, that I would love to somehow work in like the car industry. It's something I like never seem to get tired of. If I was like maybe, yeah, no offense to anyone out there, but if I was like a mechanic working on really mundane things like changing brake pads of like just regular old like daily driver cars, that might not excite me over time. But yeah, that is definitely something. And I've thought about it in the future, like could I be some like backyard mechanic that just like helps people like change their oil, fix the little things here and there on their cars, like hey, maybe when I retire. But I honestly had so much fun building this cat tree that I think that if I had to like choose a future in something right now, like some mellow sort of job, I would love to do that. People charge $500-$600 for cat trees like this.
Yeah, even more.
Yeah,
that's why we built one, because they can be so expensive. We have a super chat from Mystic Seal. Have you seen the Cranky Egan's YouTube channel? His Are We Winning series is super interesting.
Oh no, I think I recognize the name. I've seen him a little bit. But I haven't. I'll check it out after this though. Thanks for the super chat. Sorry, I can't give you a little more information on that, but a lot more people know about it now. So I'll definitely check it out.
Is there such thing as vegan keto? Yeah, of course there is. It's really restrictive, right? So it's more of a restrictive, I would say personally, it's more of a restrictive diet.
It's tough.
But keto is just kind of restrictive in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think, do we decide it's around, I mean, we didn't decide, but what is it, 30?
I think it's less than 25 grams of
30
or something. Or
it's very low. Yeah, somewhere between there, 30 to 35. And that's hard. I mean, even if you look at avocados, I think if you eat like 1 or 1.5 avocados, you're going to be getting that many carbohydrates. So like, I just have trouble seeing how it's sustainable. I think putting a label on it like keto, yeah, is going to be tough to like stay in ketosis all the time. But if you want like eating a higher fat diet, maybe less carbs and that sort of thing, I think that definitely might work out better for some people. But hey, let me know in the comments. We're looking at them here as we go. And if you do keto and you stay under like 35 grams of net carbs per day, then I want to hear about it.
Carolina asks, you do not seem to stress the importance of becoming a vegan to combat the cruelty of the meat industry. Are you afraid of losing followers?
What is it? Read it again, sorry. You do not seem to stress the importance of becoming a vegan to combat the cruelty of the meat industry. Are you afraid of losing followers? No, that's just my dharma. Like, it's not my initiative. I don't think it's. I
think that's something to be conscious of. That's like an aspect of why we went that way. But focusing on that and doing that kind of activism, there's so many people that play that role.
There are, and
so well.
Yes.
And that's just not really where you want to.
Yeah, and I do talk about it. I think, I don't know if you watch my Instagram stories just this week or just a couple days ago, I posted a picture showing me, full pump after my workout, showing muscle. And I said, I've been vegan well over 10 years. It's probably even, 12 now or whatever, but well over 10 years. And, and think of all the animals I've saved, I've eaten no meat, all this sort of thing. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely do put it out there. I do say it. It's not like my main thing because, for me, when I was going vegan, that wasn't one of the, it's so hard because it was one of the driving factors, I should say that, but it wasn't people putting it in my face and making me feel bad about my meat eating choices. It was people educating me on,
how to eat healthy
and how to eat healthily on a plant-based diet, because I knew that I know that meat is a dead animal, right? I knew that. And yeah, and another thing, yeah, I don't know, there's to it. But I think that we all have this like piece, and it's of course a piece of that we are always changes, but we have a piece that goes into this big puzzle. And, you know, this is just my piece that I'm sticking in the puzzle. And there's people like Joey Carbstrong that have a massive piece of, you know, compassionate puzzle piece that they put into that puzzle. And yeah, I don't know. If you want me to talk more about it, you can. But I feel like with those types of questions, a lot of the time you're preaching to the converted. You know, I get messages every day, dozens of messages, people who are telling me that I've helped them go plant-based. And that just by watching me and just living my life and demonstrating what I do has helped them go plant-based. So clearly what I'm doing is working. You know, I don't know whether me showing, you know, the footage of the, you know, the terrible conditions and stuff would help or hinder that. I'm not really sure, but I definitely do know that some people tune out when they see that sort of stuff.
Can you do a one arm pull up? Let's, you know, bring the vibes up.
No, but I like the hard questions. It does make me think though. So can I do a one arm pull up? Like maybe like here. But I can't get full chin up.
He can do like a full chin up. I've seen it. One armed full chin up.
Oh, I don't remember.
Because you're just like, and then you get it. Like what? You're gonna get it like this and almost like
no, but I can't quite get like I don't know. I got to do better.
Come on.
Before I say I like have it.
Okay. Christopher Herman sent a super chat and he says, hello. I only wanted to send you much love from Germany. Thank you. Much love from Canada. And he said he disagrees with the previous statement. You influenced my best friend.
Oh, thank you.
So just the way that you share information and stuff. Because, yeah, we all cling to different things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what part of it you disagree with, but hey, that's cool. You can disagree with me. Maybe I should be including more of the...
No, I think he disagreed with the last statement as, like, she says, why don't you... more of that?
Okay. I just assumed it was attacking me all the time. Fine. Okay.
But he's just basically saying like what you're doing is great. And then Ines says, hi, soy icy
I saw this question.
Protein powders, use or avoid?
Yeah, so soy protein isolate is the one form of soy that I do try to minimize my intake of. Soy protein isolate in particular has been shown to increase IGF-1, which can be a driver for certain cancers. So that's one of the reasons why we want to try and avoid the soy isolate as much as we can. But there's rice, rice protein isolate, and we have like the arsenic situation there. The pea protein, but no, that there's like pea protein's probably one of the better ones, and fermented pea protein. There's also hemp protein as well. But yeah, I mean. Soy protein isolate. Same with, and then they also use soy protein for the little textured vegetable protein. That's why I don't eat a ton of it. I mean, it's not that I totally shy away from it, but I don't, make it a staple. I'd rather choose tofu or tempeh or something a little closer to its whole form. But butler soy curls are actually different, although they look very similar. They're actually made from the whole bean and not using soy protein isolate. So, yeah.
Are there any other recipe channels that you would recommend? I think Pick Up Limes is a good one.
Yeah.
I still sometimes look at Minimalist Baker, although I know that they don't just only share plant-based recipes. They share like a lot of recipes, but I found like everything from them has worked really well when I made recipes. Obviously, like Brian Turner has like great recipes, and he has really like more geared towards like bodybuilding and stuff like that.
When I try not to look at other recipe channels, and for a couple of reasons. First of all, because like a lot of the time I'm like, oh my god, these guys are so good. Like, why do people even watch me? Like, and like looking at like avant-garde vegan, like, and like he's like in this like kitchen that's like all these like amazing like vines behind him and all this like natural wood and everything. I know. Here, my kit cupboards are falling off and everything in our rental basement suite. I have to have like 70 lights around me, like getting like tan.
And then you're like, "Can you help me film?" And I'm like shaky and stuff. And then all these people have like professional filmers.
We're making it work, though.
Yeah. So definitely like lots of channels. But
yeah. But another thing too is that I think a lot of people would think that I go there and maybe get inspiration for like recipes, but then I just get them stuck in my head and I'm like, I don't copy them, but I'm like, I can't think of anything else. So I try to like not and just like create my stuff like, just straight from like the heart, or whatever, just straight from whatever the crap we have in the cupboard.
You'll just make a recipe and I'm like, that's good. You should film that. And you're like, should I?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Man, there was that one Japanese guy that did. I want to say his name was like Aki or something like that. I know that's a fruit in Jamaica, but he has the most relaxing videos, and I'm like way too spastic to make calming content like that. But but it was just so nice. Like you just hear the knife going through and just so calming. And he made amazing vegan meals. And yeah, it was really cool. English second language, which I don't know, I find so charming. Love hearing people speak English as their second language. It's like always so like direct and honest. And yeah, and he didn't talk a lot though. It was a lot of just showing his hands and stuff. Anyways.
Ashley asks, any chance you'll bring the amazing food series back?
Yes. Okay. So I saw this question.
I've been eating that kale salad and turmeric latte ever since.
Wow.
I love this question because I say the same thing all the time. I'm like, can we do more amazing foods? Because I really enjoy them too. And I can help Derek really easily with them as well, like looking into stuff and.
Yeah, I will do them. Winter's here. We, I can't get outside quite as much, and always looking for content ideas in the winter. So I think it's a good idea. I love it. I will bring them back. Yeah, they're fun. I actually like learning about the food. They're kind of in like a bit intense for me because I have to like research. First I have to like decide what food I'm going to do, then sort of like plan, decide like a recipe that I'm going to do with it, do some like research around it, and then film. And yeah, it takes a few days, but hey, this is my job. And yeah, I like doing those. So I will do those. Any suggestions for foods you guys want to see? Put them down below.
This is a great question from Watermelon. I like how it's like separated. Why does soy protein powder have so much sodium? Or like in general, why do some protein powders have a lot of sodium?
Yeah, not just soy, a lot of do. So there's, I remember learning about this as part of the processing. I don't remember what it is. I don't know if there's just a lot of sodium in like peas that gets concentrated in the processing of it. But there's definitely like a combination of that and companies just like putting it in probably so that it tastes good. But yeah, I'm not too sure. Exactly.
Fermented ones seem to have a little bit more sodium in them just naturally as well. So it's not like they're just like adding a bunch of sodium. Sometimes I think that's like naturally can happen. I
have a weird funny question. Are you ticklish? So where and who is more ticklish? I have a problem with being ticklish. Like it's not so bad anymore. I used to think I had like some sort of like
it's bad.
Like a histamine like problem or something. Was it yeah, because it's just like any tickling I was like squirming. I can't handle it. When I was young though, yeah, Lori, probably still watching this, my sister thought it was pretty funny, and her friends thought it was pretty funny that I was so ticklish, and they would tickle me. And I remember peeing one time in my pants, and it was so embarrassing. It was like a pretty friend of hers that I had a crush on, and I don't know if I don't remember if everybody knew, but I knew, and that was enough for me. But tickling's funny because it's one of these things, like especially for kids, people would tickle kids and they think it's like funny, but for me it was actually like I'd be laughing and smiling and giggling, and people would think I'm having a good time, but it was actually like traumatic. So traumatic because it was so ticklish. So yeah, like my feet.
No, everywhere. No. He's ticklish everywhere.
Yeah.
Like even if I go to like hug him, whatever, he's like, oh,
no, it's not that bad.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, don't even.
Is elderberry syrup safe to consume daily? Depending on the dose and for how long, but elderberry syrup is really, really cool for taking in the winter around cold and flu season. Is very, very effective. So yeah, I really like it. Helps to just ramp up our body's own immune system. Can you even say that word anymore? Immune system. Do you know of any plant-based powders without stevia? Vivo Life actually has one in the Ritual lineup that's an unflavored. I lied. There's a tiny bit of stevia in it. If you try a protein powder without stevia, it is not very flavorful. You can try and put it in stuff to mask the flavor, which I guess it does work. No, I don't know of any. Maybe, yeah, and I don't know where you are in the world either, because there's always different options, probably in America or the US, but yeah, I actually don't know of any. I used to work in a supplement store, and there was one that was like brown rice, and I think it was just brown rice protein, and it was unflavored. Not great, but if that's what you're looking for. Yeah, I don't know. Go to your local supplement store, but make sure that it's heavy metal tested, third party heavy metal tested, and pesticide herbicide tested, because when they concentrate the protein down, sometimes that stuff can get concentrated as well. Yeah.
Do you know the best tasting vegan wine? We don't drink wine, but you can go on Barnivorecom, and it will show you a bunch of vegan alcohols. I think it's like, Barnivorecom, and it'll show you what wines and different alcohols are vegan.
Cool.
I used to use it years ago when I would get some drinks,
Yeah, I don't drink wine myself. I do have a little drink here and there nowadays. try to keep it pretty cash, but I do.
Interesting. Where's the coolest place you've traveled?
Okay, what's the first thing that popped into your mind?
The coolest place?
Yeah.
That we both traveled together?
No, just period.
Oh,
But I know you haven't been many places without me. It's probably
what's the coolest place we've
Give me a little
traveled to?
Okay, so I'll go since you're thinking forever. For me, the first thing that popped into my head was Bath in the UK.
Yes, that was a really
not
beautiful place.
And Bath in general is a really cool city, but the ancient Roman baths that we went into was so cool. And the fact that it was only discovered, like not even 100 years ago or something, rediscovered, like not even 100 years ago or something like that, was mind-blowing to me. And the way that like this whole city town revolved around this hot spring, and like just everything that they did in there. The craziest thing to me was that it was considered like a healing center, and people that were sick would go in there into these like dark dungeness, like saunas or whatever. And and you can just, and they didn't know about like germs and stuff back then, and you can only imagine like how weird it was, but and how sick people must have got. But it's really cool to see. So that was one for me. I also got to go to like Barbados a long time ago. That was really cool to see somewhere that was like authentically like tropical, like white sand beaches, like bathtub warm water, just amazing. It's hard for me to even fathom that people live that on a day-to-day basis. Like that's their reality, is like getting up there. But again, there's plus and minuses to all these places. And Barbados is a very small island. You might get a little stir crazy living there, but I mean,
another really cool, a cool place that we really enjoyed, because I think it like met our expectations of how like fun it was like Venice Beach in Santa Monica, because they just have like crazy stuff on the beach that you could just hang off of, and it was just wild. Yeah. Because here they don't have that, because it's dangerous and stuff. Meanwhile, we're just doing like ring workouts. And then the colorful really, people there and everything. Yeah, I really like it.
It's such a cool place because everyone goes there to because they're like trying to make something of themselves. And not that you're not anywhere else in the world, but I just mean like these are people that are like taking a lot of the time taking a leap and moving there from somewhere because they're like chasing a dream. And a lot of those people don't get to that dream maybe, but they still have all that energy, and there is all still that that energy around that place, which I found to be very cool. It's not really somewhere I'd maybe want to live all the time, but what do we have here? Oh, are you going to Veg Expo in Vancouver? Ritual will be speaking there. Wow, that's amazing. No, unfortunately, I won't be going to Veg Expo. Yeah.
Let's see. Could you make a video geared towards plant-based student athletes in college? Not really our forte.
That's hard because I guess you're working like limited budget, limited like cooking sort of apparatuses, like equipment. So I don't really know. It's not gonna be like something that I make a whole video or series about, but a lot of my recipes you could you could apply. You don't need much more than a stovetop or Instant Pot. If I was in college or university right now, that would be something. Instant Pot and Vitamix. Yeah. And your neighbors might not be too happy with your Vitamix, but it's only a few seconds of the day. But Instant Pot, Vitamix, those are two things I would have in my dorm room, 100%. Then you got, boom, raw meals, smoothies, everything like that. And then Instant Pot for cooked meals. You can saute in it. You can, just do everything.
A really good question. Someone asked, you did a video this summer where you took a dip in a natural pool. What's the name of the park? I don't know if did you want to say the name of the park?
Yeah, don't come looking for me, but no, it was that wasn't
Englishman River Park.
Englishman River Falls.
Yes.
Falls. Yes, Englishman River Falls. And that's in
lots of natural pools.
Arrington, British Columbia. On Vancouver Island. Beautiful. There's lots of cool places. I want to do more. Like, remember, it felt so good. Like, Crystal's really not great with cold water, but you even enjoyed it after. You were all energized. Don't tell me you weren't like.
I was just proud of myself that I did it, because I don't like open water like that, or just
open water.
Water like
I like that you call
open water.
I like that you call anything but the bathtub or shower open water.
Open water. There's like fish.
What's closed water? The fish are
like a pool or whatever. Yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter, but I don't really like water like that, or just water in general. Okay, so I was just proud of myself that I did it. It was a big step because, like, honestly, I always feel like I'm gonna be the first person that's gonna be attacked by like a river shark or something, you know? Like it's just gonna take me out and it's gonna be like this thing.
I want to go I want to go in the winter though. I did like how it made me feel.
Not
but I feel like it's the kind of thing I'm not gonna do consistently enough to get like the full like Wim Hof health benefits from.
Yeah.
So then it's just like
I'm just getting cold.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna come here and shower.
Yeah. Then I'm like just like glutton for punishment kind of thing.
Someone asked, can you make a training video for women, and if is there anything that women need to do differently if they're training for calisthenics, or is it the same? Calisthenics seems so hard and I can't even hang very long.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be, of course it's gonna be the same like for men or women, but yeah, definitely like maybe the starting point for some women might be, just because of their strength might not be. I shouldn't say that. No, everybody, when you start calisthenics, it's hard, no matter like what sex you are. But yeah, for women, I think like using assisted like bands and stuff like that, like you have done, doing assisted pull-ups is going to be definitely helpful. But that goes for men as well that aren't there yet. So yeah, I don't really know. Do you have anything? Because you just learned, you've been learning calisthenics, getting so much better. You went from doing 0 pull-ups, 6 months ago, 0 chin-ups 6 months ago to 5 now, unassisted?
Yep. Yeah. But like 5 unassisted for like multiple sets, which I'm really proud of. Because usually it was like 5 unassisted, and then my next sets I would be like, okay. And I could probably try for more. Anyways, my biggest thing is that switching your routine to like a push-pull legs routine is super important, because before, like years ago when I was working out, I would just do workouts that were really like isolation kind of moves.
Yes.
And I didn't really understand the concept of doing like compound movements and actually like working towards those. So like if you want to get a chin up, you're going to have to do chin ups like every pull day. And for me, I would do chin ups like once a week and be like, why am I not getting stronger? So switching my workout routine to a push-pull split was like essential. And then consistently doing very similar movements over and over until I do get stronger. And yeah, resistance bands were really helpful. Doing negatives were really helpful. Just believing in myself was really helpful too. Being like, I am strong and I can do this, but also progressively over time, like you can't give up. It's so easy after like a month or two and you're like, ugh, like I still feel so weak. You will reach like a plateau, and then you'll get over that plateau and start to feel like stronger and stronger. I think that's the biggest thing. And then working hard when you're in the gym as well. But knowing that strength will come over consistency over time. And that's really what working out is. Yeah. When you see people with like nice physiques like Derek and stuff like that, it's your body consistency over time.
Yeah, it's adapting to to stresses.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so if you're just at the point where we're hanging on the bar is hard, definitely like spend some time hanging on the bar, because one thing that you'll find when you do start doing pull-ups is, you'll find that the grip strength is like a limiting factor, where you're having to squeeze so hard that it might take some of the strength out of the rest of your muscles, or your just hands get tired, trying. So definitely like spend some time hanging from the bar, different positions like that. I think could be really helpful. And then another thing is look up Australian rows, and that's basically like a pull up where your heels are anchored on the ground, and you're at a bit of more of like an incline rather than straight up. It's not working the exact same muscles, but very, very similar, and that'll help you build up that strength.
Someone said, Aura said, like grip strength is very important for training, and I even noticed that now. Like, sure, I can do like these chin ups and stuff like that, but I do notice like over the course of my workout, especially when I'm doing a lot of those like pulling kind of movements with body weights, like my grip strength starts to like be like almost giving out on me before like strength does. Yep. And like working on that, so I have to kind of figure that out.
So a couple questions here. Well, the first, there's an OnlyFans question
Joe asked, Crystal, have you ever thought of making an OnlyFans? No, I've never thought about making an OnlyFans. Thanks for asking, but
yeah, it doesn't have to be just sexy stuff. But either way, I don't think like we're, I don't know if you're interested or not. But I won't speak for you. But we have talked about it.
No, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, and then so somebody asked a good question here. Oh, there were 2 questions right after one another. Is YouTube your full-time job now? What did you guys do before this? And do you guys work outside of YouTube? So, yeah, definitely like, I wouldn't say that just exclusively YouTube is my full-time job, but being a content creator, I don't like the word influencer, because it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounds so weird, but content creator, I don't feel like I created nearly enough. I'm a content guy. Yeah, that is our full-time gig right now. So yeah, you guys might be like, wow, just like one video a week. That's all Derek puts up. Maybe sometimes he'll not even be able to, and he'll just have to do a live. Seems like it's a pretty easy job, but there is so much that goes into this, and I'm not looking for you to like, for any praise or anything like that. If you feel bad for me
It's
for
a
having
job.
this job,
It is a job. It sounds so easy. It's a job, and it can be exhausting.
Coming up with fresh content, every week and not repeating things constantly. And the tough part too is that I have a core of people that have followed me for a long time, and then I have all these new people that sort of come into this like sort of bubble, and then people are getting spat out all the time. So it's like I have to constantly be thinking of who my audience is and be like, I want to give information to new people that come to this channel. It's valuable for them, but I don't want to disrespect the people that have been following me for a long time by speaking, just constantly reiterating the same things, right? And also that to me, so it's hard to find this sort of balance. And yeah, so for a video, for instance, a lot of the time, if I don't have an idea, it'll take me sort of a day to come up with an idea. And I'm not just like sitting there on the computer the whole time, just like, like, of course I'm doing other things, but yeah, planning a video, and then like, it'll take a day to film for the most part, at least the better part of the day. If it's a full day of video, it does take a good part of the day. And it might just look like, oh, I just like film my meals here and there, but like setting up the camera, making sure like the dishes are clean and nice clean, there's nothing weird in the background, that sometimes the camera doesn't go on, you have to redo something, whatever, like there's always challenges. So, and then the filming will take a day, and then the editing takes a good part of the day as well. So now we're looking at 2-3 days. And I know I could pass off my stuff to somebody else to edit it, but I like editing my work. Like, of course, I'd rather be just like sitting with my feet up, like watching the cat play on the cat tree. But I do like editing it because it's like, for me, yeah, it's all part of the whole work. It's like an artist, like getting the paint ready, deciding what they want to paint, and then giving the painting and thing off to somebody to do it. It's like, no, I want that job. I want that to see the finished product. I want to be on creating it. But maybe someday I'll get there. Another reason why I don't do that too is because I'm like a spaz, and I just have trouble, like, I can't imagine giving somebody my content. Let's just say that. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it to you, whoever you are out there.
But a lot of people that put out more content, I think we're a little bit different in the fact that like we do it all ourselves, which is also another reason why that's only like 1 or 2, maybe 2 videos a week, whereas most people who can get up more content are paying people to like film or edit or do a bunch of these things. So these huge channels, they basically get to a point where they are like contracting that work out.
Yeah,
so.
Which maybe I'll get there someday. But the thing for me is, if I do start just pumping out all this content, I run out of ideas. Like, I don't have enough ideas to just be like, oh, I'll film 3 videos today, 2 tomorrow, and just send it off to the editor. Like, I don't have that many ideas. So put your video ideas in the comments down below. But no. And then also we have a Facebook group, for everybody that's purchased our recipe ebook. Thank you guys so much. We are working on the second one, as you know. It has like 10,000-11,000 members in there. So I'm often trying to, be in there, be the moderator, also trying to, answer comments. People have questions for me all the time. That was kind of the deal that we set up, and people purchase the ebook, that you get support for me in the ebook and in the Facebook group. So I'm in there all the time. I also have like emails. Crystal helps me so much with all of this stuff as well. And then there's like the DMs, and I'm always on my Instagram, and people are asking me questions. Is this good for me, Derek? I'm just, going into my plant-based journey. Do I need to supplement this? Always just constant questions. So it's like all day I'm just doing things, but and it's all sort of work, but work and life really tends to blend. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, full-time content creators and YouTuber, 1 video a week. That's me.
Before that though, I worked in healthcare.
Oh yeah.
And then Derek you were in school, and then you were doing like PR, I guess PR stuff, kind of like marketing stuff. You're working at. Yeah,
I worked in a lot of promotions. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lifetime of jobs.
We won't get into that because
I think we have before tried to name them, but yeah, right before this, I was working. The most recent job I had, I was working in a supplement store. And for anybody that's looking to get into maybe becoming a nutritionist or doing consultations with people, or even who just wants to learn more about the industry, I think it's a really cool place to work because each person that would come in had a unique set of like challenges and wanted, certain results. And it was just really interesting. And I don't know if I was the best person to work there, because I was always like, okay, let's first look at lifestyle, food, all that sort of stuff. And then we can talk about the supplements, where a lot of the time those stores just want someone being like, oh, you want to sleep better? Take all these. But, that's kind of not how I worked in there. But I was really helpful, and people kept on coming back for my help, right? That was the main goal for me working there.
Robert asks, how do you always stay focused and collected on your topic, which I think he means just like what we do, like recipes and stuff like that, and approach with such a big audience and never rant on social or political stuff with so much going on that's against health and sanity right now? I thought that's a really good question.
Yeah. So it's tough. I definitely struggle with this because there are issues here in Canada with stuff that's going on right now that I don't think is fair. But you guys aren't, a lot of you aren't from Canada, a lot of you from other places in the world. And when I do try and bring up these experiences and my opinions on these things, what we have to understand is that we all come from a place of having different experiences, what we see, what we've experienced in the past, maybe how Western medicine has either helped us and others in our family, or maybe it's failed us, or maybe there's a mix, right? And people seem to forget that we all have different experiences and that we base our judgments based on these, right? And they think that everybody should have the same opinion as them, because that's just how things work, right? And so, yeah, it's something that I try not to, because it's such a downer, and it's super divided and it's polarized right now, right? So I think if I can keep people eating healthy, being positive, caring about the animals, caring about others around them, doing the best that they can to remain healthy in mind, body, spirit, whatever, so that they can best serve others around them and be the most clear-headed, focused to then address the issues that we get in this world that we're being faced with. I think that's my job. That makes sense?
Yes.
Amen. Preach.
Amen. Preach.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
That is the lane that we are in, and we've made that conscious decision. We're not going to get into other things because we don't want to be polarizing. We want to unite people under common thing, just eating healthy, being positive, because that's what we need right now. We need that. We need to be in that clear headspace.
Okay, a couple of questions here. These are great questions. Thank you, everybody. So, okay, well, quick, how do we meet? For those of you, we do talk about this on most of these lives, but really quickly, way before Instagram had DMs, Crystal and I both had Instagram accounts. We had mutual friends that were dating each other just for a short period of time, but they came together, were dating each other, and they were both like, hey, I know a vegan. The other was like, I know a vegan. We should set them up. And then, of course, Crystal and I were just like,
that's
I was
stupid.
just like, how, whatever. And we didn't, and she lived here on Vancouver Island. I lived on the mainland. It's like a couple-hour ferry ride away. So anyways, I saw her one day because I was like, well, who is this girl you keep talking about? Saw her, and I was like, oh, dang. She took my breath away. And I was like, okay, well, I'm at least going to follow along. So started liking her photos. She started liking mine. And then next thing you know, one night I was just doing the countdown. I found her on Facebook. I did the countdown. I was like, I'm going to send her a message. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, I like your style. And I like what you're all about. I've seen I don't know. I know that we've connected a bit on Instagram. I'd like to learn more. And then boom, from then on, it was no games. We just chatted every single day. She came over to meet me.
FaceTime, all that stuff.
FaceTime every night.
And all that stuff. My parents were like, "Who's this?" And then they were like, "Okay, he seems legit." And then I went to meet him.
So that's how it all worked out. So there we go. Someone else asked, and I've seen this question a couple of times. Hey, dear, do you use anything special for your hair? And sorry about laughing for that. It's like, are you watching the same? Are you watching what I'm watching? Do you use anything special for your hair? And also, does vegan diet help in nourishment of one's hair? I think definitely high antioxidant foods are gonna help with that sort of stuff. It's the small blood vessels that feed our hair follicles, and I'm sure there's more things that feed our hair follicles, but they are small blood vessels that provide nourishment to them. And we know that when when those start to get blocked, right? They don't, they don't provide as much nourishment. So that's why it's important to be eating super high antioxidant foods, berries, colorful things, dark leafy greens, all that sort of stuff. And what else was I going to say about that?
It's really also important to make sure that you're getting enough iron, zinc. As well as iodine. Because those are all really good for your hormones, your hormone health, which can also cause issues with hair.
Right,
so it's all connected. Your body's all connected.
Yeah,
so
but
making sure that you're eating really well, right? It's super important.
But if you have the genetics to lose hair and you're a male, then you could probably prolong it for a little while by eating healthy, but it's gonna happen. It is definitely
certain
just going to happen.
medications, certain things in life like pregnancy, breastfeeding, and
Stress.
stuff stress can really affect hair as well.
But as far as using anything on my hair, like no, like I wish, like I'm not that. I actually use the same soap for our dishes, for my face, for my body, and for my hair.
And you know what? I'm not, and there is shampoo in there.
Yeah, there's shampoo.
Because I use shampoo,
but it's like it's like an inch long. It's like not that. There's not that much there.
But the man chooses not to use it. The shampoo and conditioner I have in there, so this is on him.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes not shampooing and stuff can actually be the best because there's certain ingredients in shampoos and I don't know them, but certain things that aren't always the best for hair health either, right? So looking into like that can be helpful. I find because I have long wavy hair that my hair doesn't do well when I don't like wash it with shampoo or conditioner or anything like that. We did the no shampoo thing for a long time, and it like worked great for your hair, but my hair.
Well, I don't know. My hair never changes much, so I don't really care. I don't use much shampoo in it like now or anything like that. Really, every once in a while I'll see your conditioner and I'll like one of the words will catch my eye. I'll be like shiny, luscious, long, and I'm like, that's what I want. And then never
come out and it's
anything.
just like it's just like this. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is your garden growing right now?
Well,
it's raining so hard. No, we have nothing really in our garden.
Someone here said I lost hair at 18. Another person said, can I recover it at 35? Regrowing hair is tough. But there are, I don't think, like, the thing is, it's so slow and it takes so much time. You know, there are those there are definitely like certain oils and stuff that have said, I think it's like rosemary is one of them, to said to help regrow hair, but you can look into it, check it out. There's also, you know, what's crazy to me is that I see so many YouTubers nowadays, they promote keeps for hair loss, which is interesting to me on two different levels, because we're implying that when people always say, you don't want to lose your hair, do you want to look like this guy and someone will have like a bald wig on or whatever, and it's like, let's stop like vilifying getting old and having like getting wrinkles and like losing our hair, especially when it's a natural process of aging, right? I don't think that's very good. And second of all, these are strong medications that have side effects. And so like I watch these car channels all the time and the guys are just like, you know, it's some guy with like full head of hair, like down, like connects his damn eyebrows. And he's just like, are you losing your hair? And he'll like put on a bald cap and be like, yeah, you want to take this keeps. And I'm like, you know, how many, and they said, and they even make sure to say that you have to start taking it so you don't lose your hair. You want to start taking it prophylactically beforehand. So you have all these people just taking medication, hoping that they don't lose their hair. Are we talking about the side effects? Are we worried about them? I don't know. But, you know, for me, vanity versus health, something you got to weigh.
Someone said,
and I think bald heads are beautiful. I just want to say that. And I think people who, and I'm okay. And every once in a while, because I do, you know, I don't have the thickest hair. It's not falling out like fast. I've always had these sort of like deep cuts here and here. But I do think about shaving it, and every once in a while, someone will be like, "Oh, I noticed you wear hats," or "I noticed that you know might not be confident about your hair. You should just shave it." And it's like, well, it's easy for you to say, but it's a scary thing to do. And one day I will. And but I do sometimes go on little like you know binges. Well, like the algorithms are so good; they suggest this stuff to me. But I'll see guys that are like, "Yeah, shaving my head. I'm like, you know, I'm balding or whatever, and I'm shaving my head, and I'm doing it in front of the camera." And afterwards, they always look so good. And and you see them, they're happy, they're relieved, they've gotten rid of this something that they've been, you know, that's been holding them back for so long. And I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'm constantly like worried about, oh, is someone noticing like my hair's a little thin or whatever. But I do think about it, and yeah, sometimes I'm not happy with my hair a certain day or the way it looks. I definitely like wear hats, but I like wearing hats as well, so it hasn't become a real problem for me. But yeah, one day I will. And I just think it's amazing how courageous people are to put that stuff online. And I've teared up a couple times watching, because you can just see, like, you know, especially guys that have like just hair that they're really embarrassed about. And yeah, it's really cool. Like I'm kind of tearing up right now. It's just it's a really cool thing. But for me, not yet. I still got enough of it.
Speaking of zinc, what's a good vegan source that you eat?
And
then they said, nice hair, by the way, because we always get these things in our head, you know. And a lot of times, I think with celebrity, especially, we look at these celebrities and they have like beautiful hair, but a lot of times we don't realize that, like, y'all, they're wearing wigs. I don't, like, it's amazing. Like, how I even sometimes I'll watch like beauty channels and I'll be like, holy crap, that girl's eyelashes are so beautiful. And it's like, oh, they're actually like false. They're not real, or they're wearing like a wig or something. So anyways, just remember that too. And if you ever compare yourself, like, it's so easy. I think your hair is so nice, but we all have these insecurities. Zinc, what's really great source, like tempeh.
Yep.
Nuts and seeds are like great sources of zinc. And so if you don't eat a lot of nuts and seeds,
yeah, whole grain.
You cannot be getting lots of zinc.
Whole grain bread.
Oh yeah, like whole grain bread. Yeah, ours has like 6 milligrams of zinc in like a slice or something. Yeah. Amazing. I also think zinc.
Hemp seeds.
Yeah, there's lots of foods that do have zinc in it. I also think right now, or just especially if we're not going to talk about immune health, but zinc is very important. And so I think it is important to make sure you're getting enough, or look at like supplementation, especially vitamin D3 as well.
Yeah, that's that's huge, right? Like,
we weren't taking zinc supplements, for a long time because I'm sure we were hitting enough or whatever. But now, just with like immune stuff or whatever, I take.
You do. I don't.
Yeah, I take zinc supplement.
The supplements I take are vitamin B12, vitamin D3. If I'm not eating a lot of seaweed, I'll take a seaweed-based iodine, which is just like it's a drop. It gives you your RDI of it, and that's just from
Aren't lentils high in zinc? Yeah, like a lot.
Creatine as well. Protein.
Legumes are
lentils
have some zinc as well. To get more zinc from them, you might want to soak them, sprout them before you.
And vitamin C helps. I believe. I know it helps with the absorption of iron, but I do think that it helps with absorption of zinc as well, from what I remember. Comparison is the thief of joy. Kenna Gray. Wise words.
Let's see. Derek, do you still drink Dandy Blend?
Next. No. I tried that for a little while because I was like, hey, I'm so excited about this. This is like, I'm going to have this instead of coffee. And then, I just, didn't crave it. It's funny, like, with, I try not to have too much resistance in my life. And if I find that things aren't like, if I'm not like inspired or they're not like pulling at me, then I definitely just kind of like let it fall. And it's a nice thing to have in the cupboard for sure. Hello. But it's not something that we consistently have. Thanks for getting up. Well, very nice of you to join us. Come here. Oh,
little Ollie.
She's got such cool markings. Like, she's got some spots on her there. She's got a little kind of circle.
It looks like a little O almost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, good key.
Okay.
So we're coming up. It's
an hour. You have to go soon.
An hour. I do have to go soon. Are you okay?
Okay, let's answer 5 more questions. So we always stay on. I'm always like, okay, we'll do about an hour, and then it's 3 hours later because these are so fun. It feels like we just started this.
You are so positive. Do you ever fall off the path?
Yes. So I'm going to make a video on this. This is something Crystal's been kind of not bugging me to make, but she's like, I had this idea a little while ago, how I stay positive. Like, why am I always so positive? Because I get that all the time. How do you stay so positive, Derek? And of course, it's like a something where, Instagram and social media is a highlight reel, right? I'm not putting on the times where I'm just sitting in the corner no, I'm never quite that like that. But that's the thing. Yeah, I always, show my highlights, but I definitely do struggle from time to time, and I'm going to make a video on how I deal with that sort of stuff. But a couple things, for me, routine is really important. It's just get out of bed. Don't let yourself just stay in bed. It's hard to get out, but get out of bed, open the blinds, see the light, have a shower, get dressed. Those are sort of and this is more for just straight up depression, not just staying positive. And then as far as staying positive for me, having hobbies is such a huge thing for me. And it's not a kind of money buys you happiness thing, because I'm not spending tons of money on my hobbies, although some of them, can cost a little bit. But it's that for me is really important, to have other things that I am looking forward to that don't necessarily, that aren't necessarily getting me ahead in life. Just things that I'm just enjoy, that I'm passionate about. Yeah. So, I mean, kind of weird thing to say, not getting me further ahead in life, because that's such a subjective saying or thing to say. But you know what I mean? It's not always work related. A lot of the time I feel instead of doing something for me, instead of just, working on my little RC cars that I like to work on, I could probably be, I could go in the Facebook group and answer some people, or I could be coming up with a video idea. But we need this time to just like decompress. So that's one of the things. Another one's, getting out there at nature, exercise. But I have lots, and I don't want to give them all away. But one thing for sure is like, allow yourself to be passionate, allow yourself to get excited about things. And I find that often when I meet people nowadays, there's not a lot of passion. There's not a lot of excitement there. Crystal, like when I'm like, does that person not like me? But I come on pretty strong a lot of the time.
Everything going on, it's hard to have a little bit of positivity and excitement.
But when I meet someone that's like excitable like I am, I'm like, holy crap, this is so cool. I love it. And a lot of the time these kind of people are happy. And it's not that, it's hard because it seems like happiness would be sort of the thing that drags that emotion. Like you have to be happy in order to have that excitement, to have that passion. But sometimes it does take a little bit of effort, a little bit of force to actually to be passionate, to be excitable about things, because that stuff does take effort.
So someone asked, because we talked about supplements, why do you take so many supplements? And I don't think we take a lot of supplements. I think we supplement things that are really difficult for us to get right now, like vitamin D. We live in Canada and it's pouring rain right now. Like as soon as it hits September, like we're not getting enough sunshine. And as we know, vitamin D is incredibly healthy for just health in general. So yes, that is something we take. B12.
So for instance, you could take a multivitamin and it would cover zinc. It would cover D3.
I guess so, yeah.
So you'd be taking one, and then B12. It would cover one thing. And then there you go. If we took a multivitamin, would you say, well, why are you taking 20 vitamins?
Yeah, why are you taking that?
Why?
I know, yeah, it sounds like a lot.
But it's because we choose the things that we're supplementing based on, what we might not be getting in our diet. And it's like, oh, then a vegan diet's incomplete. Well, B12 deficiency is not a vegan specific issue.
Yeah.
Let me add them, babe.
Yeah, I'm like, don't fight.
B12.
And same with vitamin D, right? Like
B12. I said D.
Well, no, B12 and D.
Yes.
Are not
iron.
Yeah.
Like every single girlfriend I had growing up, and I did have to have some before Crystal, and I learned something in every one of those relationships that prepared me to get here. But every single one of them was iron anemic. Yeah, it was deficient, and they were all eating meat and these sorts of things. So it's not; these aren't vegan specific things. And by the way, I don't supplement iron. In my iron, when I got my blood test, if you want to go look at that, it was on the high end of things. So there you go. But D3. I mean, D3 and B12. I think vegans and non-vegans alike should definitely consider supplementing this D3, especially if you live in the northern or far southern hemisphere and you're not seeing a lot of sunlight.
And the reason why I said zinc is like I wasn't supplementing that before, but for like immune health now, it's been shown higher zinc levels, less chance of having like any issues with like immune. Same with vitamin D, and so that's why I was like, maybe bump that up a little bit. Someone had a question for me about just quickly. It was from Aura, and she said, do you have to have like a period or like regularly menstruate to have good hormone levels, or can you just like not have that? And I think that's like a multifaceted question, because it kind of depends. Like if someone's on hormonal birth control, they're probably not going to be getting a period and they're having like synthetic hormones in their body. If you don't have a natural cycle and you're not taking hormonal birth control, that's not great. You want to be having a regular period, because ovulation is super, super important. That is how we our body works to that point. So you have to have healthy estrogen levels to ovulate. After ovulation, a few weeks after, then you have your next period. If you're not having healthy ovulation, then you're not getting a period. And so it is really important to have a regular occurring period, because that does say that your hormones are functioning in the way that they should be. Hopefully that answers that. Okay.
Nice, thanks, dude. Herman, he's a all-star in our in the Simnett nutrition community, and he says, I want to see a collab between you guys and Hench Herbivore. Yeah, he's a good guy out in the UK there. He works so hard. He does these lives like every single day. It's amazing. So someone said vitamin D, omega-3 iodine, zinc, vitamin B12 is considered not much. Oh, I never said that. I took an omega-3 supplement. But I mean, hey, iodine,
you can get iodine easily in your diet. I don't get enough iodine in my diet because I hate sea vegetables, like legitimately hate sea vegetables. I don't eat seaweed, so I will take an iodine supplement.
And if this is the reason why they iodize sea salt. If you eat iodized salt, you're supplementing iodine. And if you don't, you should be eating seaweed. And if you don't, you should probably get your thyroid checked.
And omega-3, science is kind of out. If you have issues with like degenerative, like Alzheimer's disease in your family, then maybe higher omega-3 levels would be beneficial. But from my understanding, does everyone need to supplement omega-3s if they're getting enough in their diet? That's kind of a personal choice. So yeah. I also just want to say that there's someone in the chat, Angel, who is calling us like anti-vax, and I just want to say that we are not anti-vax, we are pro-choice, and
yeah, this whole like
our stance. And I really just
anti-science
be
and stuff.
Very careful when you label people, because they're trying to use language to create division. And so never assume someone's position unless you actually ask them, what do you think about this? Never use language like that. Language that divides us is dangerous. And I just want to say that. I want to be very clear on like, that is, you know, our belief is people should be making choices based on what they feel is right for them. And using this like division and this language is, it's really scary actually to see. I just wanted to like, I didn't want to be like harsh
and something
there,
also
but I just wanted
too,
to be like, be very careful.
And this whole, do you believe in
idea.
science, or are you anti-science or whatever? Like, the fact that you want to label people into this, you either believe in science or don't, based on one thing, like makes no sense at all. Science isn't something to be believed in. It's something to be
questioned, like looked at. Like we're looking for answers. Like it's curiosity.
We all know that there's science out there that shows that eating certain like meat is good for you. There's science out there showing milk is good for you. Like there's stuff, but then there's science that conflicts that as well. So it's not, what do you just believe in all of it? Well, then what, you know? And so much of it is industry funded and everything. Man, I'm scratching my nose so much, guys. I'm sorry. I got to tell you the story today. I was out I went for a jog this morning, and I saw stinging nettle. And I thought, I thought that only grew in the springtime. And I saw a whole bunch of it. No. So I was like, is this actually stinging nettle? I grabbed it. And for some stupid reason, I was like, I'm going to smell it. I don't even know what stinging nettle smells like. Put it up to my nose. And just right away got so many spikes in my nose. And my nose feels like it's like this big right now, but it's not. Man, this is crazy. Anyways,
I'm glad that everyone in the chat, you guys are all so sweet. I didn't want to go on like a rant there, but I you know, we see what's happening. We all see what's happening, and it's really sad and upsetting. And it's just hard when you just are like,
Anyways, get out. Like, I don't want to talk about that topic because we're not changing anyone's minds on anything.
We're not here to.
I don't want to be called a sheep. I don't want to be called a tinfoil hat trumper. I don't want to be called any of it. I want to be called somebody that makes the choices that I think are best for me.
Yeah. Let's see.
Can't let it go. People can't let it go. That's so funny.
A portable meals video to build muscle. So I guess that's like more of a meal prep video.
Portable meals?
Like portable, like you bring them to work and stuff like that. I think most of your meals are if you have access to like a microwave or something where you can like heat your food up.
Yeah, or Tupperware.
Or that's what I mean. Like you put it in Tupperware and stuff.
Yeah, it's.
But it is that's.
When I was working, the big thing when I was working at the supplement store, and I was trying to build muscle, get lots of protein and calories in, and I had 30, 45 minutes or so for a lunch. And I was going to school really busy. What I would do is the night before I would cook up a lot of whatever the bulk of the meal was, whether it be like a curry or just straight lentils or just rice or whatever. And I'd always make extra. And right away I would take scoops of that and put it in a Tupperware container. And I'm not eating that for dinner. If I'm still hungry after everything I've eaten, I'll find something else. But that was the side for lunch right there. And then you could, you chop up veggies and everything and put it in there if you want. So that was what really helped me. And it was like a lot of lentils and rice combinations, and then bringing like a little sauce that was just in like a little Tupperware container to pour on it afterwards, just like a really simple tahini sauce. That's pretty much what I would do. And then I would just heat it up in the microwave. So I don't have any specific recipes.
Herman wants you to do a tutorial on how to do the push-ups on that
the iron
grip. It's so hard because he says it's really tough, so he wants like a tutorial.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strength involved, but it's some skill as well. So what they're referring to is the I call them the knuckle buster push-ups, but it's when you do a push-up on one of the the V grips that you use for like seated rows. So you put that on the ground. So one thing is you don't want it too far close towards your face. You actually want it like lower down on your body. That really helps to keep you stable because it keeps it towards the center of your gravity because everything's pivoting on this point. And then also wide, your feet have to be like wide. If your feet are really narrow, then you're going to be super tippy. So make your feet a little bit wider, chalk on your hands and grip that mofo like you're on a 1000cc motorbike and you're about to fall off. Like just grab it. That's what you have to do. Do I have an amazing food on video on lentils and beans? I believe I do have one on lentils. Lentils are amazing and why you should eat them. Lentils are probably one of those most amazing foods. They're not very water intensive. They grow in a whole variety of conditions, high in protein, lots of nutrients. They're nitrogen fixers. So they actually bring nitrogen out of the air and put it into the soil. Like if there's any food out there that is the food of the future that we should all be thinking about eating more, farmers should be growing more, it is lentils, and they grow here in Canada. Yeah, man, that's how you get passionate about lentils. Someone keeps saying important question here, but they don't ask one. So do you foam roll? Yeah, if I'm really sore, I do, but I have to admit I don't stretch nearly as much as I should. I kind of just like pretend that like my calisthenics is like stretching enough. Like, oh, I stretched the bottom of like pull-ups and stuff. But last night I sat down on the ground and I was doing some stretching. And I do try to have a little bit of a routine in the morning where I get up and do some stretches just to kind of stay consistent with that. But foam rolling is amazing. It's funny though, if you look into the science on it, there might be some newer stuff or whatever, but I as far as like DOMS goes, like, cause that's what I always wanted to get rid of the delayed onset muscle soreness that I get in my legs after leg days. And it appears that it doesn't do much for that. But if you have, but I know that people have personal testimonials where it does really help them. So, science isn't always the be all and end all here. Our personal experience does matter sometimes. So I do have to start doing more stretching and foam rolling. I had some French lentils when I was in some, maybe that's a country, I'm not sure, in Ile de la Réunion. I think that's probably some sort of area. They were even tastier than regular red lentils. French lentils are the Cadillac, or I guess you say the Tesla nowadays. Of lentils, French lentils or poi lentils. I don't know if they're the same, but they're very similar. And those are the ones that hold together really well. They're great for putting on top of salads and all of that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, here we'll answer one or two more questions, and that'll be it. What else do we have here? Any more questions, guys? We're looking. Yeah, lentils. All right. Well, maybe that's. Oh, is tofu and tempeh healthy? It's processed, right? Okay, so yeah, it does go through a process. Any food that it is in its whole form, it goes through a process. Even, some people consider blending foods a processed food. Peanut butter would definitely be considered a processed food. So yes, I would say it is, but tempeh less processed than tofu. But you can look up on. I actually looked it up to see how to make it myself because I thought that would be a fun video idea. And then I actually saw how to make it, and then I realized probably not a fun video idea. It's like really hard. I watched somebody. They were like, "Hey," the video was like, "Hey, make your own tofu at home. It's easy." And I was like, "Yeah, let's make some tofu at home." And then they're like, "Okay, first start by soaking the beans for this long, and then you gotta dehull them, and then you gotta boil them, and then you gotta do this." And I was like, okay, maybe your
blend them.
definition
I
of
think
easy,
blend them, and then you.
Yeah, your definition of easy is easier than me, but and it's so cheap to buy, and we get organic tofu that's made locally here on Vancouver Island. That's just amazing. So I haven't wanted to make it, but but they're both great for you. Check out nutritionfacts.org. You guys know Dr. Greger's video. He has lots of information about soy, and until you're eating up to around 5 or 6 servings of soy per day is totally fine, healthful, safe. To do so, and the over 5 to 6 servings isn't because it's going to increase testosterone or estrogen or whatever in males. It's not. That's not it. It actually has to do with the insulin growth factor, IGF-1, so that it can increase the that a little bit. But I mean, who's eating 5 to 6 servings of soy a day? No, I don't think we're eating that much. Yeah. Oh, Mel rocks. Yeah, I've seen the tofu making videos too. They're too much work. Yeah, I know. I already do like too much of that where I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to show you how to make this easy soup. Just pull everything out from the cupboards and the fridge.
20-minute video later, you're
Yeah.
like, wasn't it easy?
Yeah.
Nah.
Thanks
Anyways,
for the
I think
answer, says
that's-
Felix. Oh, monk fruit sweetener is amazing. Monk fruit sweetener is amazing. Did you know that there's here in Canada, they don't sell, I believe it's here in Canada, they don't sell monk fruit sweetener on its own. You can't get it on its own. It has to be
Yes.
in conjunction with another sweetener, which is so crazy because if I couldn't have something on my own or on its own, why would I have it with something else? It seems so strange.
Thanks for the super chat.
Oh yeah, thanks.
And-
Appreciate that, Paul.
Regis, thank you for the super chat. He says,
Hi from Quebec.
Hi from Quebec. Love your
Bonjour.
content. Bonjour.
I've been to Quebec. I've been to the old town, I guess they call it, the old city, Quebec. I was blown away that was in Canada. I'm like, I felt like I was in,
one day.
felt like I was
for
in
sure.
Europe. It was really cool. Everyone was really friendly. It felt really safe. This is years ago now, since things may have changed. But it was really cool. And we all learned French in school. It was kind of a school thing. And we were like, we went there all to like practice our French. And we thought it was, yeah, we were going to like, and then we met, these, I remember we met these girls in like, in a museum and they were all French speaking. And we were like, yeah, we're going to talk to these girls. We couldn't say a damn thing. Like in the heat of the moment, nothing works. And we also learned that we didn't learn conversational French in school. We just learned how to like conjugate verbs and pluralize things. But anyways, yeah. Canada's funny like that. Yeah, we learned French up until grade like 12.
Yeah.
And then you, unless you're living over there, you never use it again. But there's many French-speaking people, so I think it's pretty cool that we continue to honor that part of our heritage. All right.
It's an hour 20, I think.
Crystal's ready to go.
I have to,
Crystal has to go. She's been here.
I have to go.
We took her for 20 extra minutes. She said, I'm only giving you an hour, Derek, because I have so many things to do. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go as well. These things I always make them drag on too long, and then people probably aren't gonna come and watch them again. So I think an hour and 20 minutes is a really good amount of time. Sauerkraut.
Usually they're like 2 hours.
Can't help but answer. Sauerkraut or kimchi. Sauerkraut's gonna have more bacteria in it than kimchi because the beneficial bacteria that we want because it's fermented for longer. Yeah. But if I had the choice just for flavor, you'll give me that kimchi.
Manuela says, great live hangout. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks
great.
so much for everyone like tuning in.
Yeah, exactly. When's the next live? I don't know. Next time I fail to get a video up on the weekend. So I have some videos planned, but I would like to do more of these lives. I just don't want to make them like I don't want to say not special, but I want to like keep them fairly, special, infrequent enough, but I would like to do more. So I don't know. You guys let me know when I should do another one. But thanks for everyone for joining from all around the world. It's been amazing.
I'm glad we kept it pretty positive.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, I think so.
It's really fun.
Yeah, remember to just love your neighbor, respect their choices, and people, we're just all doing our best out here.
Thanks
Love
for
you
the
guys.
super chat.
Yeah,
Angela.
thank you for the super chat, everybody. Angela just snuck one in there.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And buy some more tofu today with that $5. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, babe.